Hi, folks. My name is Manuel Nunez. I'm actually a brother Freemason, and I was looking at this movie Cristiada with Andy Garcia, where um, he leads this band of people fighting for freedom for the Roman Catholic Church because it was being abused by the government of Mexico and the Masons. Um, so I did a little bit of research actually, and looked at the articles of that were being pushed by the government, and I actually found some very interesting stuff. I found that these articles were not actually anti-religious. Um, they actually called for secularism, separation of church and state. Article 3 had two parts. One part said that in the schools, and this is the government-funded schools, by the way, the government-funded schools would have no more religious education. That they wouldn't be taught religion according to the Roman Catholic Church. So what's the problem with that? It's a government institution. It's supposed to be secular. We've been doing that in the U.S. here for years and years and years since the beginning. But the problem is in Mexico, it's 90% Roman Catholics, so they want to have all the power. They want to hog all the power. Now the Roman Catholic Church, they're rich, and they do whatever they please in many cases, and they've used their power to, start religious wars, slaughter millions of people. Um, Rape little boys, still doing that. That one they can get away with. They like to cover up when a priest, plays hide the salami with a little boy, right? So, the Roman Catholic Church is guilty of all this, and you can get mad at me all you want, but hey, it is what it is, man. In the history of humanity, there is no one single religion that has committed more atrocities, more horrible, horrible atrocities than the Roman Catholic Church. I mean, you can say whatever you want. You can say, well, the Jews have done this, and the Protestants have done that, and the Muslims have done that, and, hey, man, you put it all together, and your church tops them all by miles and miles and miles. Okay, and to this day, they're still raping little boys, which, hey, man, hate to tell you, but that kind of goes way under anything else that any other religion has done. So what were the problems here? What was the government essentially saying? Well, the government was saying, look, man, you know what? We're not going to cow down to the Roman Catholic Church anymore. We're not going to do things according to the Roman Catholic Church anymore. You're free to practice your religion. All the articles that I read there that they had a problem with actually said that the Roman Catholic Church has a right to practice their religion. You have a right to practice your religion. But you know what? Your religious celebrations, practice them in the church. That's where it's supposed to be. And if you want to come out and practice them in the streets, just follow the laws. So in other words, like these huge ceremonies they do, like El Dia de los Muertos and stuff like that, the day of, well, fine. You can come out, you can celebrate it and everything, but you know what? Don't break the laws. Don't get drunk and go running around drunk in the streets. And just follow the law. That's it. You're not above the law. You have to follow the constitutional law. That's what it said. You're not going to do religious education for any of the public schools. You should. They're the public schools. They're the government schools. You have no right to teach them your religious views. What's wrong with that? And it said that part 2 of Article 3 actually says that the kids would be taught scientific progress, and they would be taught to fight against fanaticism and prejudice and things of this nature. Apparently, these guys thought there was a problem with that because, they're trying to slam down the Roman Catholic Church and all this BS about Via Cristo, Via Cristo. Come on, man, long live Christ. It's almost like they remind me of the way that the Knights Templar were depicted, and the real Knights Templar, I think, were actually quite the opposite. I think by the end of the Crusades, they were actually more of Ismaili Muslims, but that's just my perspective, And I think part of the evidence comes from Paul Naudon's book, Paul Naudon's book, The Secret History of Freemasonry. And if you want to find out more about the history of Freemasonry, that's a great book to read. But anyway, in the movie Kingdom of Heaven, if you remember that movie, where these knights would be like, God wills it, and they would like slaughter all these people, that's what these guys remind me of. Okay? Because what they were fighting for, it seems, is the supremacy of the Roman Catholic Church over their government. This is exactly what they were fighting for. Now, I invite you all to look at the Wikipedia article, okay, because the Wikipedia article has a very good understanding of all the rules and regulations that these so-called cristianeros, whatever the hell they were called, were fighting for. Okay, it has a very good article, and it explains exactly what articles they consider anti-Roman Catholic. And I challenge you to find me a single article in there that is persecuting the Roman Catholic Church, that is persecuting them. You know, telling people that they have to pay their taxes, telling people that they're not going to get any kickbacks from the government, telling people that, hey, they can't teach their views as official government policy. You know, you can't teach your religious views as official government policy in a secular school. And telling them, hey, you know what, you're free to practice your religion. We're going to defend your right to practice your religion. How is that persecution? How is that anti-Roman Catholic? I don't get it. So I challenge anybody out there to explain to me fully, in an intelligent way, how this is really, how this movie is not a load of BS propaganda. Okay, that's my challenge to you. Read the article, do some research, and really come down and tell me, hey, you know what, it was really, you know, it was against the Roman Catholic Church. Because in my point of view, what's going on here is that the government finally got a hold of its nutsack and said, the Mexican government said, you know what, we're not going to take this abuse anymore from the church. The church is not above the law. All you fat priests, you're going to be held accountable to the law, and we're going to hold your church accountable. You got all this gold, you've got all this glitter, you've got all this treasure, and we got kids getting raped. We got you guys, you know, telling people what to do and what's right, what's wrong, and they can't use condoms, and you know, people can't use condoms, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong according to your teachings, and you got a problem with evolution. In some places they had a problem with evolution, and you know what? It's like, no, you know what? No, we're not going to deal with this crap anymore. We're gonna do things right, okay? And you know what? And you're free to practice your religion in your churches and in your schools. You can teach whatever the hell you want, but in the secular schools and in the rest of the world, you're not going to be telling everybody what to do, okay? Because we've seen what came about from that. We've seen all the wars that you caused, all the endless crusades. We've seen all the witchcraft persecutions. We've seen the inquisitions. We've seen all of it, and we're fed up with it. And that's what the Mexican government said. And these people rebelled against the Mexican government. Now, you tell me who's in the wrong, who's in the right, okay? I think this is all a load of BS, okay? Load of BS. But check it out for yourselves. I want you to look at the article on Wikipedia, and to do some more research also if you want, on exactly what the government is proposing and all these things, and look at it. And check out this movie and tell me if this movie isn't really just a load of BS and a lot of ignorant people who, for whatever reason, they're like, oh my God, you know, our church has the right to tell everybody else what to do, and they have the right to squash everybody and force them to believe the way we believe. Isn't that fanaticism? Or is that okay? Is it okay what if I came around with my religious beliefs and I tried to force you to believe them? Would that be okay? Would that be okay with you? What if I fought for that? You know? If I fought for my religious freedom to squash down your views? It's ridiculous, man. It's all a load of BS.